All right, let's see. Joe Rogan and Andrew Schulz discussing Trump versus Bernie Sanders. We're going to start off with this one. Joe Rogan is doing a leftist, liberal heel turn once again, folks.
Hate someone like Trump because Trump believes he should be president and he wants to be president.
Yes, and there's something a little icky about it.
Out of here,
dude. And I think that what was so endearing about Bernie. It was like this motherfucker don't want to win. He wants to help. Now, is his idea of help? Do you agree with it? That's to be said by the average person, but. Did you feel like he cared about winning and controlling?
No.
I never got that sense from him.
No, I got a sense that he genuinely...
I love these combos, dude. It's just such a obvious... God. I love these combos because it's like very clearly, this is how the average American thinks about politics. It's all shapes, colors, and sizes, okay? That's it. Like... The average American citizen is not thinking about like the actions of a political party. They're thinking about charitability. They're thinking about like whether they think the vibes are fucked or not. Okay? That's it. Straight up. Straight up. That's it. And Bernie's vibes were good. He had a lot of hatred from people who are already despised, like the Democratic Party, like the Democratic institution, like the Republican Party as well. And he was able to, he was able to get vibe checked into oblivion. And that's it. And I know this from my own personal experience, both canvassing and also talking to people in the real world. Anytime I talk to people about Bernie Sanders, I don't even talk about his policies. I don't talk about democratic socialism. I talk about how honest he comes across. Okay? And that's it. Whenever we talk about politicians in a larger group, all I do is bring up the fact that like, well, Bernie is honest. He's been fucked over by all of those very same villains. And people do see mainstream media as villainous. People do see, politicians as villainous across the board. So the fact that like Bernie has an antagonistic relationship with both the mainstream media and also with, these institutionalists is a really good thing. It's a great thing, as a matter of fact. Unfortunately, that's not how politicians are selected. The mechanism of control, especially within the Democratic primaries where, the impact is noticed the most. That revolves almost entirely around not a vibe check, but about like how easily and how successfully people can push. The MSNBC watchers can get pushed to the polls because those are the main people that vote in the Democratic primaries. And Bernie twice tried to go against that and failed. That's just the unfortunate reality. Okay? And I don't know if there's ever going to be a way to... I don't know if there's ever going to be a way to get over that. I don't know if there's ever going to be a candidate that can combat that with a media narrative and a media message that, pushes beyond the boundaries of like MSNBC. But whoever it is going to need to do that. Isn't that the fault of the electorate for being such easily manipulable idiots, at least those that care to vote in the Dem primary? No, that's not how I think about these sorts of things, man. Shifting the blame over back to the individual is just like American, it's just like weirdly hyper-individualistic Ameribrain bullshit. It's not. It's not up to the individual. It's not. It's just the truth. Like, we're talking about systemic change, okay? Just like it was Hillary Clinton and Hillary Clinton's campaign's individual responsibility, or rather, Hillary Clinton's responsibility for not putting forward an adequate campaign strategy and not going to Wisconsin and whatnot. That was the problem. Not the fact that like enough people didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, because you have to sell them something. That's not how this works. Okay? You have to sell people something for them to go out and vote for you. You can't just like expect them to go out and vote for you because they truly care that like, the Democrats are going to defend the rights of the marginalized, when Democrats are in power right now and you can see it with your own two fucking eyes and hear with your own two fucking ears and see it with your brain. Visualize the issue that like Democrats are falling short of offering protections for the marginalized when they're in power. Right? Carlin says we have owners who have purposely made us dumb, not the individual's fault. Yeah, that too.
Genuinely looks out for the working class,
Yes.
and he genuinely wants to help people. That's why I said that I supported him.
100%.
And when he was explaining how his situation works with taxes, that they would just tax a small percentage of speculation, of stock trading, just a tiny percentage of all these trades that are happening constantly, and that money could go to education, that money can go to wealth.
Ask your marginalized friends if they feel protected. If you don't have any, get some or shut the fuck up. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's why I just said that. Like, no one who is like, I don't think women feel like the Democratic Party is adequately protecting their rights right now. I don't think trans people think that the Democratic Party is adequately protecting their rights right now. I don't think undocumented immigrants think the Democratic Party is protecting their rights adequately right now, especially considering that the Democratic Party is either directly contributing to the problem by continuing Trump-era provisions like Title 42, or they are straight up just campaigning off of it without putting forward any sort of like serious fight. No serious pushback whatsoever. No serious fight whatsoever. Right? I mean, think about it this way. Think about how little media coverage the two bills got so far. Two bills have been passed in the House of Representatives this past week. One was about codifying, one was about legislating
has mods.
A protection for access to contraceptives, which is a genuine problem or will become a genuine problem, right? Protecting that at the federal level is important, is really important. The other one is about protecting gay marriage. There is no media pushback. There is no fucking like going into making the rounds on mainstream media and like routinely talking about it. There's no bouldering of the Republican Party talking about how like 157 Republicans voted no for protecting gay marriage.
Thank you for
like they're not even doing that. The only thing they're doing right now is January 6th, January 6th, January 6th, January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. It's only trying to present the Republican Party as a violent party ready to do fascism, which is true. That is true. Okay? That's been true. Okay? And if your only goal is to showcase how crazy they are and then rely on the electorate to go out and vote for you as a defensive mechanism without actually doing anything to implement defenses or without even showing the defensive legislation that you're proposing, okay, then why the fuck are people going to vote for you? Do you see what I'm saying? So even in instances where the Democrats are actually doing something right, they're doing something adequate, they're not hyping that. They're not showing that they're doing something. It's like they are scared of showcasing efficiency. They're scared of showing that they're even doing the right thing. How crazy is that? Yes, they're always relying on the lesser of two evils as long as people are willing to buy into the idea that there's no better alternative, but there isn't any better alternative. That's the reality. That's the unfortunate reality. Right? What are they supposed to do, Hasan? Try? You're being hysterical, Sweaty. That's true. I mean, we already talked about this. This was the Pied Piper strategy, and it fucking failed. Like, they literally propped up Trump on purpose because they thought Trump would be the easiest to defeat out of all the fucking Republican Party candidates. And guess what happened? It blew up in their fucking faces, no? And they're still doing that. The Democrats are still doing this right now. They're doing it in fucking Pennsylvania with the governor. And they're going to continue doing this. It's fucking insane. And it's an inherent contradiction. If the Republican Party is fucking fascist, is full of fascists, then you can't give them money and prop up the most fascist candidates personally. It doesn't work that way, right? But they're doing that. They're propping up the fascists, crying about how they're fascists, and then literally funding their campaigns because they think they're easier to defeat. And then what happens when they don't lose? What happens when they win? And that can happen. And it happened with Donald Trump. You can't also say they're fascists and then be like, we have to find, a bipartisan solution. We have to find an adequate middle ground. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's what Democrats keep doing. And Americans aren't already like equipped with some kind of ideological backing. They do not understand like why they're voting for certain individuals. They're doing vibe checks anyway. So to those Americans, if you try to describe these strategies, they're going to be like, well, what the fuck? On the one hand, you're saying they're racist, fascist pieces of shit. On the other hand, you're saying we got to compromise with them. Which one is it? Fully 76% of voters either think Biden's very popular infrastructure bill never cleared Congress or don't know whether it passed or not. Only 24% of it are aware that, yes, it passed. Because it was the bipartisan one, and Build Back Better never passed. The fatter bill did not get passed. It got held up by the Democratic Party, by the way, and the Republicans, but also the Democratic Party. There will never be an electoral alternative. You're electing a bourgeois government, man. Okay, Marxist-Leninists. Marxist-Leninist, shut the fuck up challenge, okay? How many times have I talked about my strategy? There might be a different strategy than you. Mine might be different than you. But ultimately, it doesn't matter, okay? The reason why I still back electoralism to a certain degree, while also talking about how it falls significantly short of what needs to be done, okay, is because even an electoral strategy gives you a prominent mainstream position because of people who don't listen to you dumbasses that only want to fucking endlessly pontificate about a potential Marxist-Leninist vanguard party rising up from the ashes of American fascism, which is never going to fucking happen without adequate organizing. The reason why people don't listen to you, luckily, and actually push for electoralism and push for local organizing is because that allows people to get into positions of power, like sympathetic people to get into the positions of power. Okay? Sympathetic leftist people in positions of power is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Every moment the AOC is in a position of prominence and says things like even something as silly as like socialism was good or whatever the fuck, okay? And that people are ridiculous about democratic socialism. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. That is normalizing this point of view to millions of people. And that is endlessly more successful in beefing up organizing efforts than anything you're doing on the internet.
Love you,
man. Your ass always slanders Marxist-Leninists, and then you go on and cry the leftists shouldn't do infighting. Okay, well, come on, MLs. I slander anarchists way more. Okay, shut the fuck up. Like, are you serious? You're really gonna fucking cry right now? Really? Really?
Smile, smile, chat.
Revolutions never accomplish what they set out to do. They're always commandeered in one way or another. Stop pretending that Marxist-Leninism doesn't advocate for strategic electoralism. Have you never heard of the left, communism, and infantile disorder? Lots of MLs believe in continuing to vote for base building. Okay, that's great, but that's not who I was referencing in this circumstance. There's plenty of fucking weirdos in here as well. Okay? As an anarchist, my feelings are hurt when you slander my beliefs. Anyway, it literally doesn't matter. None of it matters. I don't even give a fuck if people call me a capitalist, dude. You think I give a shit? Like, I don't care. There is a strategic decision that I make here in trying to build a anti-capitalist base of support in this community. Okay, that's what I care about. I don't give a fuck about your flavor. Okay, your own personal individual flavor, unless you get in the way of my method of change. If you get in the way of my method of change, I'm gonna fucking yell at you. Okay. What's Rogan saying that's liberal? Well, we're watching it right now.
When you can go to all these different things that would use to benefit society. I was like, I'm in.
That sounds good.
Is that real? What else are you trying to do? You trying to avoid war?
That sounds cool.
What else are you trying to do? Trying to like eliminate student debt?
Hey.
What else? What about healthcare? Free healthcare. I'm in.
And he's a radical.
See, that's a brilliant conversation. Okay, that's a good combo to have. Does it seem authentic? No, I think Joe Rogan is like unaware of what his worldview revolves around. You know what I mean? he changes like the wing to cater to as many views as possible. Bro, like this man was literally hyping up Ron DeSantis like last week, brother. He is the diametrical, like he is the opposite of Bernie Sanders. Like there is no man that is closer to the opposite of Bernie Sanders than fucking Ron Death Santis. Let's hear it though. This is Joe Rogan's on his lib arc.
What do you think that is about? Like, what is this? It's not just abortion rights, but now they're going after gay marriage too, which is so strange to me.
Oh, it's so strange. It's like, bro, it's strange to you if you think that the Republican Party is not built around cruelty. The Democratic Party is built around virtue signaling, and the Republican Party is built around cruelty, racial agitprop, and cruelty. That's it. But both of those parties are essentially playing a role in their you know, they're doing theater. Both of these parties are a part of a theater play. Okay, ultimately, that's it. But you have to, at the very least, recognize that the Republican Party's role in that theater play is about being as cruel as possible to marginalized people and use them as a red herring. Society's crumbling because of Society's crumbling because the West is falling apart as a consequence of immigration. Society's crumbling because Western supremacy is no longer in existence, because Western civilization is falling apart because of homosexuality and moral decay and moral degeneracy. That's what Republicans advocate for. That's what the fuck they say. So of course they're going to do all this shit.
That people are talking, like Marco Rubio was saying that it was like a silly thing to argue about, to be concerned about, and then some other senator who is a gay woman confronted him, and she was furious at it. Because gay marriage is not silly. It's marriage. It's marriage for people that are homosexual, and it's for them. It's important. They want it. They want to affirm their love and their relationship. And the fact that they're going after that now almost makes me feel like they want us to fight. They want to divide us in the best way they can, and that, like, that this is the best way for them to keep pulling off all the bullshit they're doing behind the scenes, is to get us to fight over things like gay marriage, or get us to fight over things like abortion. Or
you don't say. What? That's crazy. No way. That is so shocking. Color me surprised. What? How? What? That's never that. I would never think that that's the case. Yeah, no shit, dude. Next thing he's going to say, the top of the hour is when an ad break comes in, you know, like a 60-second one. And that if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. And I'm going to be like, Joe, how did you know that? Okay. And that he's going to say you can subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime, as long as you have an Amazon Prime account connected to your Twitch account. That's such a good segue. You guys got fucking debated, dude. Get fucked. Okay. Or he's going to say you can also get gifted a sub if you no longer want to see the ads, but if you're lucky, okay? Only good boys and girls and MBs get gifted a sub if they're lucky. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Bluevert, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Abolish the hetero-gay Will Hasan marriage.
It's just like, why are you removing freedoms?
Yes.
And, you know, and then this new thing where they're, you know, gun rights, like trying to go after the Second Amendment.
I wonder if Joe Rogan will ever think about his own personal role in the culture war as a mechanism of divisiveness. Because like if you start realizing those things, then you have to maybe, do you think he'll realize that like he himself has like played a dramatic role in amplifying the divisiveness? What about you though? My friend, what the conclusion that Joe Rogan just arrived at is what I've been advocating for the past 10 years, okay? That these wedge issues, I talked about it on the Anthony Padilla interview. I talked about it time and time again. I have been talking about it for fucking 10 years. That ultimately, Americans agree on a lot more than they disagree on, especially as it pertains to social issues. And the idea of social issues being the only reason, the only fucking primary motivator to separate between these two teams in our bourgeois capitalist electoral system is because it takes away from the material realities. Democrats refuse to offer material restitution. Republicans are always going for additional cruelty. They both agree on both parties ultimately agree on are endless imperial conquests overseas, bombing brown people, okay? We always agree on deregulating certain aspects of the industry. We always agree, both parties always agree on fucking tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations. This is a fundamental part of my advocacy. And if you don't recognize that, that's because you've been duped into thinking that I have not been saying this and I'm only playing my role, crying all the time about Republicans. I shit on Democrats so much that motherfuckers literally think I'm a Republican. There are people that have come into this community thinking that I was a goddamn Republican for like a week before they realize, like, holy shit, what is your political perspective? Okay? That was everyone here on their first week? Yeah. If you don't virtue signal like a Democrat, you're automatically Republican.
Translate kalam.
Anyway, let's continue.
You know, you see that story that recently happened where there's a shooter in a mall?
Can we say something about the gay marriage real quick?
Yeah, please.
Like, if you're going to say that marriage is an important cultural institution to the fabric of America, you can't remove it from Americans.
When I first heard of you, it was a TikTok that said there was a world where I never discovered Hasan and stayed a liberal, and I thought you were a Republican, Lamau. That was me. I unfollowed you at first, but eventually tried you again and got to know you. 21-month subscriber. Look at this.
Loving this Andrew Tate arc.
Right.
You can't go and say, this is important. This is what we do. We create a family and we love one another. And this is how we express our love. And then say, these Americans can't do that shit.
It's so homophobic because you're saying there's something wrong with being homosexual.
Ooh, whoa, Joe. Seems like you're virtue signaling, man. This argument that Joe is arriving at can be extended to pretty much all the other culture war issues that he plays a role in, okay? For the record. Same thing when I read your bio years ago. Do you think the average person knows the difference between right and left now? Thought you were a lib because you were wearing an Obama hat the first stream I watched? Yeah.
Who are opposed to gay marriage, you're saying you're opposed to gay people.
Yeah.
Because if gay people are in love with each other and they want to have a celebration and they want to be legally bonded and connected, and there's all sorts of benefits to that in terms of
financial benefits.
You
build it into the system. Yeah.
But not only that, like if your loved one is in jail or not in jail, well that's
on trial, you can't.
Or I was going to say in a hospital.
Oh, that's right. You have access to them. Yeah.
You have access to them, and
your loved one is in gay jail.
The only one that has access to them because you're their spouse. You're the one who has power of attorney if they're incapacitated. Like this, there's a lot to affirming that relationship. Yeah. And the fact that they're going after that now, that's the kind of shit that keeps me from being a Republican.
Yeah,
it's only one of the there's a bunch of shit.
I love that, dude. He's like, if the Republicans weren't as aggressive about as open about their homophobia, I'd probably be a Republican. That's awesome.
Well, keeps you from being a Republican.
Yeah.
But that's one of the, people will say you're a secret conservative. I'm like, you could suck my dick.
He's not a secret conservative. He's an open conservative. It's just he is I'm calling you because I'm going to order food. Come here and put your order in.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm so far away from being a Republican.
Yeah.
Just because I believe in the Second Amendment and just because I support the military and just because I support police.
Yeah.
I was on welfare.
Brother, the reason why people think you're a conservative is because of your advocacy about the shit that he said about homeless people, the shit that he said about fucking laziness. This is a direct contradiction to exactly what he said last week when he was talking about how laziness is happens when people get money for free. I mean, look, I don't want to push people like this away, okay? And I do believe that Joe Rogan, much like many of these other people, have certain empathetic qualities that put them in the I guess progressive side. Okay? Is this an old video or new? No, this is new. But people that are saying maybe he'll change. No, he's going to have Ben Shabibo back on next week and then fucking, say the most insane, idiotic bullshit again here. Bro, he said this plenty of times too. It's more about what he's presenting himself as recently. I don't give a fuck if you're on welfare years ago. Now now shit on homeless people. Yeah.
As a kid, I think it's important. I think having a social safety net is
great.
Crucial.
Yes.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
We should help each other. We're supposed to be one big community. I'm a bleeding heart liberal when it comes to a lot of shit. I just also believe in discipline and hard work.
Yes,
that's where.
No, that's what you're right. I forgot. It's the leftists and progressives fucking hate discipline and hard work, famously. They're always like, "Oh man, I fucking hate hard work and I hate discipline."
Too long, I've enjoyed every minute of it. Thank you, Hasan, for educating
like these are
all of us,
like
Hasan.
universal values that you are just ascribing to the fucking conservative movement for no fucking reason, dude. That's so insane. I'm sorry. I despise that, dude. I straight up I fucking can't. Laziness is not a quality that is associated with the left or right, okay? That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
I'm so torn on Andrew.
There are plenty of fucking hogs that are lazy as fuck, okay? Just like there are plenty of leftists that are lazy as fuck. God damn, dude. No, Republican are lazy. No, conservatives are lazy as fuck too. Everyone is there's lazy people in all political movements. Like, that's so stupid. It's so incredibly idiotic to be like, oh, who's lazier? Like conservatives or Democrats? Like, oh, whatever, dude. Democrats incentivize laziness. Yeah, dude, you're right. You're right, Scruff Gruff. That's totally true. Democrats incentivize laziness. Why? With social safety nets? Is that how? Is that how they do it? Dude, people that say stuff like this are so funny because you're in Twitch chat, which means like you're not even one of those fucking billionaires or millionaires that's going to benefit from crippling the social safety nets and then getting a nice little tax break at the tippy top end of that. That's what's crazy to me. Like you are suckling on the billionaire boots so fucking hard that you unironically are advocating for their propaganda. You're advocating for their better material conditions for them.
For a couple weeks.
Bro, rich people don't even fucking work. What are you talking about? Exactly. Exactly, dude. There's a certain point that you get to with your finances where your money makes money for you.
2 years, Pog.
Okay? And there are so many people that are at that point. Those people are lazy, but society has wired your brain into thinking, oh, he has money, so he's working hard. Because meritocracy is a lie told to you since birth. Okay?
Let's go. Has the brain rot set in yet?
If you aren't a spineless invertebrate layabout, you should rethink your life choices. Worm lifestyle, Pog, what? Democrats are disincentivizing people to work by advocating for the higher minimum wage. Yeah.
I fall into the more conservative side.
And
but
that's
I'm
okay.
But I'm not a person who wants to like keep all my money and not pay taxes. Like people have accused me of moving to Texas because I didn't want to pay taxes. No.
So when are you at that
That's
point?
Like
What do you mean, when am I at that point? Am I at a point where my money could make more money for me? Absolutely. 100%. I don't do it because I'm brain broken and I love this. I love doing this and I don't need to do that.
Hassle.
But yes, of course I am. But it's funny when people say like, oh, dude, well, you know, look at what you're doing. Look at your financial predicament. It's like, bro, I'm literally in front of you for 8 to 10 hours every day. I'm streaming on a Sunday, brother. What do you think is going on?
5 whole months since Russia invaded Ukraine.
It's not like I'm not hiding it. Like, it's not like I'm taking like a fucking 2-month vacation or some shit. And then I come back and I'm like, all right, time to work again. And it would be totally valid if I wanted to do that as well.
Sparkling.
And in Twitter and in Discord and in offline chat, you're always online. Exactly. I'm brain broken. I love this shit. I love my community. I value it immensely. I owe everything to you guys. So this doesn't feel like real fucking work. And the main point is I want to make sure that everyone has opportunities like this. I want to make sure that everyone can have a future like this. I want to make sure that everyone can have emotionally satisfying, fulfilling, meaningful work. Okay? And get paid adequately, get compensated for the actual labor that you put in, and have more autonomy over your own life. That is at the heart of leftist values. That is at the heart of Marxism. Okay? People often misunderstand Marxism. They say, oh, it's collectivism. Like, it doesn't care about the individual. No, dude. It's collective action so that individual freedoms can be uplifted. How can you claim to be a free person in the United States of America when we house, or shackle rather, 25% of the world's entire incarcerated population? How can you say you're truly free when you are shackled with debt just so you can become a more productive worker, okay, in the form of college debt, in the form of student loan debt, an amenity afforded to the average citizen in most other OECD nations? Okay? How can you say you're truly free when your employment is directly tied to your health care? How can you say you're free? Are you really free? You spend 80% of your adult lives, many of you are young right now, so you're not there yet, but when you get older, you're going to spend 80% of your adult lives working at facilities, working at corporations where you have no say over what you wear, what you can say, what you can do, what you can and can't do. There's your haircut, okay? You will have no say over that whatsoever, out of the fear that if you don't follow whatever your manager or your boss is saying, you might lose your job. And if you lose your job, you lose any opportunity you have to put a fucking shelter over your head. You lose any opportunity you have to put food on your table, clothes on your back, and more importantly than all of that, healthcare. How can you say you're truly free when that is the reality that you exist under? You're not. They've just lied to you, and they've said that you're free, and you think that you're free, but you're not free. You have no freedom whatsoever.
Black pilled for another month.
Okay? The only freedom you have is a false notion that you either work and have no say over your own lives whatsoever, or die, starve, and die. Okay? Let's continue.
No, I moved to Texas because I want fucking freedom.
What a perfect way to end that clip. Now, Joseph Robinette Rogan, obviously, he has freedom because he's fucking a multimillionaire. Those are the people who are truly free, let's be real. Andrew Schulz on independently releasing his comedy special. All right, let's hear this Dave Chappelle controversy.
Before the podcast about what happened. So today is, what's today's date? Today is the 22nd, which is a Friday. And just yesterday.
Great, this chat knows that. You know that. The other leftist content creators know it. So who's going to do something about it? Or just in theory, what can we do about it? Talk about it, connect with each other, depend on each other, elect each other. But no one wants to do any of that. Bro, why are you coming in here with a defeatist argument when I'm doing agitated propaganda? What's wrong with you?
Seems like he doesn't want to talk to me anymore.
We talk about what is to be done a lot, okay?
6 months of official Brian Rott without a grain.
All right, I'm muting TTS. Post that last rant on TikTok with the Zoomers, man. Basically, Marxism 101. Yeah, that's a good rant. That's a TikTokable moment. This is why the shit they say about you is always bullshit, man. You know about the struggle of the working class and have working class fans and have actual conversations with them instead of just placing your order. Yeah. I wish you didn't talk so much shit on him, so maybe you could go on his podcast. Maybe one day.
Chappelle's show got canceled.
Yeah.
in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
In a venue that did Prince own it?
I think that was the Purple Rain venue.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever owned it, but I think that was like synonymous with Prince.
Right, with Prince.
Yeah, I think it was called First Ave.
And something happened where these people decided that Chappelle is problematic or transphobic or what have you. And so the venue, at the last minute, like a couple of hours before the show, canceled his performance.
It doesn't feel like work. Does that in and of itself discredit your statement about how choosing the work instead of taking time off? Those running trust funds and corporations have astronomical amounts of stress. Unlike you, who are getting paid just as much from Twitch subscriptions, you have the luxury of making millions off of the very thing you enjoy. I mean, whether I consider it to be the traditional concept of work or not does not change the reality that there is labor being put into this. Do you understand? So when I say, oh, it doesn't feel like work, that doesn't change the nature of what I do. Okay? And also, when you talk about the trust fund workers, when you're talking about the people that work at the hedge fund, that's different than the people who actually are just putting the capital and making other people work for them. There's a difference between someone who is an analyst who is working in that capacity, working to improve profit margins for those who own capital, and the person who owns the capital himself. You get it? It doesn't feel like work because you aren't having excess labor value extracted from you. I am. That's not true. I quite literally am. I am still, regardless of how well paid I am, in comparison to the average worker. No, of course, surplus labor value is being extracted from me. Amazon takes a fat cut. What are you talking about? Amazon forces me to run ads at the top of the hour. Amazon takes a fat cut of revenue from said ads. Amazon also is taking a cut out of every subscription. So it is still infinitely, there's still a gigantic amount of, there is a gigantic percentage of that revenue that's going directly to them for operating this, for allowing me to operate on this website. Chatter is trying to use that argument of service workers are not hard laborers, which is so wrong. Service workers are most likely to be underpaid, have lower benefits, and even skip breaks to give perfect service for tips. Yeah. They also provide stuff, even though they profit off of you, though? Of course, but that's your workplace as well. Any contracted employee is getting some kind of, benefits. They supplied you with a platform to produce. They work hard too. My friends, you have Gramsci in your name. There is no fucking shot you do not understand this. If you know who Gramsci is, okay, you should understand what I am talking about. Unless you just learned everything from memes or something. It was a joke. Oh, okay. Holy shit. There's a difference between people who are bought into Amazon, okay, just have given their capital and are now just getting a return. They're having their capital work for them versus someone who is like coding on the website, someone who's working on the servers, someone who is doing compliance at Twitch. There's a difference between those guys who are workers versus the people who are at the tippy top, the capital owners who are just simply making money off of Amazon stock. Those guys don't have to go to work every day. I do. And so do the coders. So do the other people that I just mentioned. That's the difference between investors. Investors don't have to fucking literally go to work every day and keep working to make money. They're making their money work for them. Get it?
Yeah.
And he had to move it to the Varsity Theater.
Yeah.
And there was protests and
Yep.
And you said one of your buddies was there?
Yeah, one of my buddies went. So they moved it to this other theater. And first of all, the reason why the venue canceled is because all the people that work there threatened to not go to work. That's what I'm hearing. So it's not like they felt like this, never ending like urge to like protect the community.
Right.
They wanted Chappelle. Everybody wants Chappelle at the venue, but if everybody is at the venue is going, I'm not going to work, then you can't exactly have a show. So they do it at the other show, this other venue, and then the protesters went to the other venue and were kind of like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, like harassing the people that were going to go to the actual show. And my buddy went there, and they were trying to fight him. And like, he wasn't even going to the show. He was going to see what was happening. He wasn't like part of like an anti-protest type thing. And
Did
it was funny.
he make a video?
No, but he's a Somali kid, right? I want to get you this.
Red Band sent me a video.
Yeah, show me. What, of the eggs? Where the guy was going to throw the eggs and he got that shit kicked out of his hand?
Here, I haven't seen it, so we'll see it for the first time together.
But look at this real quick before you play the video, right? So a guy found out, one of the guys who was protesting was like trying to like fight him and fuck him up, found out who he was and then sends him a message.
Making your money work for you is such a silly term. Like your wallet is going to a long day of labor and coming home exhausted. People are working for you, not money. Brilliant take. Freyer Eugen, you are absolutely correct. When I say they're making their money work for them, I mean they are engaging in exploitation. That's what profits are. Obviously, there's no concept like your wallet isn't like autonomous and going out there and working. There's no value without labor. So when I say you're making your money work for you, I'm using the colloquial understanding. Okay, but what I'm referencing is capital owners that are personally making money off of other people working for them. Okay. Interesting. Third-hand anecdotes with no evidence proving how unhinged all lefties are. Yeah.
Right, and the guy's name is Anthony, and he has his pronouns he and they in the bio.
He and they.
Yeah, he and they.
Oh, sometimes I'm a they. Yeah. Sometimes I'm a he.
And if you get it wrong,
yeah, don't get it wrong.
You're a bigot.
Yeah, you fucking piece.
Okay, dude, these are like 2016. This is a 2016 era takes at this point. Especially when it's he, they, it quite literally is the absolute most like, what do you mean? He, they, that's it. You could say he. That's what that means. Like, what else do you want? What else do we want from this motherfucker? Like, you know what I mean? They're saying like, I will accommodate, okay? I am non-binary, but it's okay. I'm mask presenting, I'm masculine. If you say he, I'm fine. Like I'm fine with you saying I'm he. Like even when you can't get it fucking wrong, motherfuckers are still like, oh wait a minute, what the fuck?
Shit.
So he goes, hey Abdi, I've talked with others who were there and closer to you now that the picture has become clearer. I'm very sorry that the white guy started off the whole escalation and caused a bunch of bad assumptions. This is 100% why, as a cis white guy, I choose to follow the directions of the activists/organizers on the ground instead of taking the lead. I'm there to support. It bothers me a lot that white guys do this and leave other people to pick up the mess. I'm going to delete my replies because they didn't pick up on what was actually happening. I see your byline and MSR and Sahan Journal and look forward to reading some of your pieces. Hope our next meeting is more peaceful. Good night.
Did he punch him?
I don't know.
Why did he say more peaceful? What did he do to him?
I guess they were just beefing or something.
So this is the video that Red Band sent me. It says trans activists protesting outside a sold-out Chappelle show in Minneapolis. So let's play it and hear what they have to say. Oh, we have to...
Dude, I don't fault trans people for being upset about Dave Chappelle, and his like rhetoric or whatever, but also like stopping Dave Chappelle from performing at a Minneapolis venue. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I get why they're doing it. I get why people do it because like you're literally, every time Dave Chappelle goes to a venue, they are, Dave Chappelle is unironically uplifting the anti-trans narrative and directly making people more antagonistic towards trans people and normalizing that. Joe Rogan, why does everyone think I'm a right-winger? Also Joe Rogan, pronouns, am I right? Yeah. Don't give him that power. Fuck him. He's not even funny anymore. I just like this kind of shit only is going to hype him up further. It sucks. I do feel like it's defeatist. It's the same exact like... It's just coming from that same area of powerlessness in that circumstance. But what are you supposed to do? Like I see both sides. I hate to I hate to admit it. I'm such a five-head centrist, I guess, but I do understand why people do it. Like, it is a defensive action, right? Because when Dave Chappelle goes out there and is like fucking getting people to honk like a goose and clap like seals about like being transphobic or whatever, you're unironically creating a less safe space for trans people. But also, there is no safe space for trans people pretty much at any point. You know what I mean? Is Chappelle still doing transphobic material in his current bit? My friend, Dave Chappelle, and I talked about this extensively yesterday, and then we unfortunately arrived at the most unhinged psychotic thing called transvestigations. Dave Chappelle has what I call turf brain. Okay? It is when you are so obsessed with the existence of trans people and it fucking makes you so angry, right? It shakes your entire worldview and you are unable to operate in a normal, productive capacity, and that's all you talk about. What the fuck is transvestigations? This is a transvestigation that one of you guys made as a joke. Jewelries, long hair, pretty, cute, pretty dress. Evidence from Hoscord. Boobies. Azan is trans. There are a lot of like brain broken people on the internet that have like accelerated turf brain, where apparently they conduct a sequence of investigations on whether cis people are actually trans in secret, and it's pretty funny. It's good stuff. It is like accelerated brain rot. I love my identity constantly being up for debate. Yeah. Dude, when he posted that picture, I literally had to ask my girlfriend to turn off his Wi-Fi and sell data for the day. So dumb. Anyway, let's get back to Joseph.
Trans also human rights, dumbass.
We're leftists. We know that shit.
Queer phobes go
Yeah, we
home.
do, dumbass. Yeah, we do.
Tell it how it is eugenics for schizo posters. Yeah, it's accelerated schizo posting. Can I show the Dave Chappelle transvestigation? The person believes that Chappelle's bald head is the result of a hormonal imbalance. I love that.
Oh my God. A lot of hostility out here.
But it's not a lot of people that are hostile. It's a small amount. It seems like there's like, if you're watching this, it seems like there's probably like 12.
The worst thing you can ever do if you're going to protest, especially if you're going to be disruptive, the worst thing you can ever do is be cringe, okay? You can't be cringe. If you're ever cringe in the act of protesting, God forbid you're protesting against like pre-existing societal constructs, especially, can't be cringe. Boom. That's gonna make it to my cringe compilation. What is this? Alpha male Hasan explains why science is important to beta male Andrew Tate. Okay, we're done with these for now. Okay, we'll look at this later, maybe.
Or well, I don't know. It's hard to see the.
Who knows?
Yeah. But the thing about Chappelle's special that drives.
I'm new here and was impressed with your comments with Andrew Tate. I understand that you claim to be centrist, but relatively speaking, yeah, I am. I'm a centrist. Do you believe you align with more the left or the right? Just to clarify for new viewers like myself. Yeah, no, I'm just a centrist, dude. I'm right in the middle. I align with the truth, the objective truth, facts, and not feelings. You know what I mean? Just centrism. Pure centrism, baby.
Drives me.
Please don't Google anything about me, okay? Cease your investigations into what my political affiliations are. I am just a centrist. And of course, because I'm in the center all the time, okay? Google will lie to you about my opinions. You know what I mean? They try to pin me down all the time. Can you elaborate on why you think these people protesting Chappelle shouldn't be? I was playing a game, so I may have misheard. No. I don't think these people protesting Chappelle shouldn't be protesting Chappelle. I'm simply stating that this is it's not tackling the genuine issues that pertain to trans people and trans existence. You know? The list of reasons you've been banned is pretty funny when you think about it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got banned for saying America deserved 9/11. I got banned for using an anti-white. I got banned for anti-white racism. No, I'm a centrist.
Crazy, and this is one of the things that drives me crazy about cancel culture, air quotes, outrage culture, I should say, is that people don't know the full story and they protest and they get crazy.
Any sort of action within the democratic system that protects trans lives is proven to be completely fucking ineffective. Even the most tepid of protesting gets shit on. What are people supposed to do? Well, what I think people are supposed to do is again, engage in community organizing, engage in organizing their workplaces so that they can ultimately bully one of the two parties in power to literally codify certain protections for trans people. Doesn't the protest show that there are members of the community who support trans rights and trans safety? Yeah. No, that's why I said, like, a protest of Dave Chappelle's show is basically to showcase that, like, hey, listen, you know, you're transphobic as fuck, but, you know, there are people in this community that don't put up with that don't want that. And also to somehow try to stop transphobic narratives from continuing to be disseminated by a incredibly, profoundly successful and popular individual. Because, and it's the same exact argument around, like, it's the same exact concept about, like, Milo Yiannopoulos coming to your college campus, or Ben Shapiro coming to your college campus. Like, not Ben Shapiro as much, but Milo Yiannopoulos or Matt Walsh, when he comes to your college campus, like, they literally are doing shit to purposely make it less safe for trans people to exist there, right? Like, Milo used to literally dox trans students and shit. So I understand where, you know, I understand why people want to stop that from happening, right? I think it's good to show people who are in a community and going to the show that there are people against them. Yeah. Why is my wait, what? This guy, where is it? Chappelle's a comedian. Why are you taking his words so literal? Your stream title is kind of whack. Why? It's Hogwatch TPUSA edition, Sunday Fun Day. That is what we're doing. Most serious transvestigators just end up admitting how they think guys, how hot they think guys are now. I see women with broad shoulders and small butts. I see men with big butts and beautiful eyes. What exactly do anti-cancel culture people like Rogan imagine the best case scenario to be? I don't know. I have learned a lot in the short period of time I've been here, done hella research, and found a name to what I wished our society would be like. Thank you. Welcome.
crazy, and they have a narrative that they've either read or they've seen, and then they just adopt that narrative and they run with it. And the narrative is that his special was transphobic.
Right.
So, but that special was not transphobic at all. It's essentially a love letter.
Dog, he literally said he's transphobic in the special. What would it take for Joe Rogan to admit that Dave Chappelle is transphobic? Because now we know Dave Chappelle openly stating that he's transphobic was not enough. Okay? My man said he's a TERF. That's it. It's like the equivalent of saying like that he's a Nazi and then Joe Rogan be like, well, I mean, is he a National Socialist? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's it. He said he's a TERF. Chappelle is not anti-trans. Oh my God, there's still motherfuckers in here. Bro, listen. I've talked extensively about Dave Chappelle being transphobic. I'm a massive Dave Chappelle fan, okay? I was a huge Dave Chappelle stan, okay? For a very, very long time. I've also seen his new material and it's still fucking unironically dunking on like queer teenagers and shit. He's like lost in the fucking sauce. He has terminal TERF brain. Okay? Now, let me just explain something to you. Okay? Under the transphobia and the transphobic narratives that he is like not even making a fucking joke about, by the way, okay, is a more complicated argument about black men, specifically cishet black men, and how they've been fucked over by even the very same social justice causes. I recognize that, okay? And I have talked about that. And I think that there is one particular joke that he has that he's testing out right now that I've seen in person when he was testing out his new material about I think it was about, what was it about? I think it was like, I'll give you the exact bit real quick, but it was, I believe it's about James Baldwin. Basically, at a time when like James Baldwin was advocating for things, his advocacy revolved around black emancipation. Yeah, of course I saw him live. I've seen him live after his stand-up special as well. You're so cringe, lol. Listen to lol. Chappelle's a comedian. It's not that deep, bruh. Okay. Yeah, he's not transphobic. Just doesn't think transphobia has been as detrimental to the human condition as racism towards black people. It's a bad take, but I get it. No. He is transphobic. He 100% is transphobic. He's just constantly fucking crying about trans people all the time. Straight up. There is an underlying adequate cultural critique there, but his transphobia gets in the way of him making that point adequately. Okay? That's it. And the reason why his transphobia, like the reason why I'm talking about how he's transphobic is because like that his transphobic attitude stops him from seeing trans people and understanding like trans oppression specifically, to make like really decent social commentary out of it and really good comedy out of it. That's it. And like, you don't have to you don't have to agree with that. I don't know why you like cry so much about it. I don't know why you have to like defend Dave Chappelle not being transphobic or whatever. Like, he doesn't give a shit. He literally doesn't give a shit. Anyway, let's continue. I think Andrew pushes back on this note.
Who committed suicide.
I think that depends on your definition of transphobia. I've talked to some trans people about this, and they feel if you do not believe that they are the gender that they identify as, if you believe that they're not that is considered transphobic. So, for example, in the special, he's like, I don't believe that you're a woman. I don't hate you, but I don't believe you're a woman.
Did he say that?
Something to that extent. I don't want to mess up the exact words.
I think he said that the gender. I don't know.
Or gender's a science or something, whatever.
Right.
I don't want to mess it up. Sorry if I didn't get it exactly right. But I think the sentiment was like, yo, if you got a penis, it's not the same thing as a woman. I think trans women go, yeah, we know that. Like, no trans women I've spoken to is like, yeah, I understand, like, biologically, I'm not a fucking woman. I get it. But inside, I feel like a woman.
Right.
And what is inside, I guess, matters. Is
Here's
what
the
they're
question.
saying.
How do they know?
This is the most like. This is it. That's the peak of. That is the peak of like trans activism you can get away with on the on the Joe Rogan Experience. By the way, the most dude bro talk chat. Don't be done. He's explaining it to a transphobic person. It's funny because he misquoted him and felt bad, but the actual quote is much worse. This dude's trying to explain trans issues challenge. I mean, dude, come on. You're gonna have to fucking. No one's gonna be good. I'm not good at this. Okay, I fail at this too. You got to recognize your audience and do your best. That's it, and come at it from a place of empathy. I want to watch more of this though. Didn't Chappelle leave the Chappelle Show due to how uncomfortable his show direction was going with the jokes? How does that not correlate that with the trans jokes? Why are you coping for Andrew Schulz? Nah, dude, he literally feels that way. He said on multiple occasions he doesn't believe that they are biologically women. What do you mean, biologically women? Like, he's just saying that there's a difference between cis women and trans women, which is not like... But they're still women. Both cis women and trans women are still women across the board. He's utilizing a pre-existing colloquial understanding, okay? In biology, there's no women and men. There's a clip where they talk about the Matt Walsh doc. Okay, hit me with that clip. I want to see. Like, look at that. 2-month subscriber. Trans women aren't women. They're men. We already watched the Joe Rogan talking about gay marriage. As a trans person, the bar is subterranean for cis dudes. People don't get you're an exception. Yeah, his language is totally fucked, but his meaning is correct. Thank you. I know. And people still get mad at me. People literally fucking yell at me and say I'm transphobic. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's never, no one is ever going to be 100% perfect. The Ben Shapiro and you are the same gender point could be a fire TikTok. I work with lots of hogs who are racist towards black and Asians and are also homophobic and transphobic, and it's the overwhelming majority in management. How can I make my workplace better? Sorry if you don't want to answer. I mean, that's a really complicated answer to give you right now. Is there more of this? I want to see more of this. What is a woman? Oh God, this is gonna be awful.
I don't fucking know.
Have you seen the documentary What is a Woman?
It's my favorite documentary.
No. Have you seen it?
No, you told me about it.
You got to watch it. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's Matt Walsh, who's this right-wing guy.
With the beard.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he has the best dead...
I think the best way to argue against that is like Matt Walsh is a pussy and all he fucking does is care about this shit. Let people fucking live, let people breathe. If you're going to have a conversation with Joe Rogan about that sort of stuff, just hit Matt Walsh on the aesthetics and be like, yeah, dude, he is the most shrieking fucking harpy I've ever seen, okay? All of his takes are bad across the board. I don't know why the fuck you would hype up his documentary, you know?
Pan in the fucking business, because all he's doing with these people is asking questions. He's not making assumptions. He's not being confrontational.
Like, I don't want to hear about what is a woman from a dude who is literally the most unfuckable, who definitely has never been around a woman, okay? Fuck, the food is... And I totally forgot. God damn it. Hold on 1 second.
He's just letting them say...
Poke holes in their argument.
Stuff. And it's it's fucking crazy. I mean, there's this one lady who's talking about babies knowing they're in the wrong body. Babies.
You know,
like, how does a fucking baby know anything? Like, babies sometimes think they're dinosaurs.
Yeah. My brother was a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I
thought it was a ninja.
really. For how long? And then you kind of like followed through. Like you did taekwondo. Like you committed to that shit way too long, bro.
Wow, I got really excited about Bruce Lee movies.
but the thing is about the I guess I identify thing is, and I was texting you this, but I thought it was really kind of funny. Like women actually opened the door for this because like we were objectifying you for your body parts for a long time, and you were like, we're more than that. It's what's inside that matters. And now the trans people are like, yeah, it's what's inside. And now ladies are like, fuck, kinda. I mean, what about my pussy? You don't think that?
I'm not buying
J.K. Rowling, that's her whole thing.
That's not what her whole thing is. Her whole thing is that you're not a woman just because you say you're a woman.
What makes you a woman?
Oh, God, I want to know more. I want to know how they're fucking talking about this. Oh, thank you, Murat. I wish there would, dude, I wish they fucking clipped everything. I hate that this is like, no, I think they only give us one. Sorry. Yeah, just use your hands, bro. Don't worry about it. Why not just download Spotify? Because I don't want to I don't want to do that. I don't even have a Spotify account. I share one with my cousin, and I don't know what the password is really. No. Maybe this one has longer. No, Joe. Okay, this is the Joe and Hunter Biden fake relationship or whatever. What?
Connected to you to do the dirty. That's the Hunter Biden shit, right? Like you can't send a friend to the Ukraine. You got to send family. Right. This is like old school if you think about it. Like
that's how they used to do it. But the problem is then you're directly connected to it.
But isn't it better because those are the only people you can trust?
Yeah, but he didn't trust his son. His son was a classic fuck up. He was smoking crack on the street. Mm-hmm. Like he was smoking like Vietnam street crack.
That's daddy issues right there. Like that
100%.
I hate my father.
He probably wanted to get caught
so that his dad would suffer because he wanted to be liberated.
Dad probably wasn't around.
Exactly.
Dad was probably a shitty dad.
That's and here's some. You want to talk about like toxic femininity? This is something interesting that we subscribe to. Why is it that dad can only fuck up a kid?
What?
Like if a dad's not around, the daughter becomes a hooker, a stripper, an OnlyFans, or something like that, right? It's if he's fucked up Hunter in some way. Like there's no way Jill is a Jill Biden. Like maybe Jill Biden made him a crackhead.
Wait, hold up. Does anyone ever say that? Like, isn't mommy issues like incredibly fucking like the Oedipal complex is one? Like, there are definitely mommy issues for sure.
Like Joe's busy doing.
Like most serial killers have mommy issues. Like Ed Kemper comes to mind immediately, right? The idea that like mommy issues is not talked about is so funny when it certainly is a issue that is talked about.
Political shit all the time. Jill, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Also, his mom died, so that is mommy issues. It's not Jill.
Son's not a crackhead. I'm trying to say, like, I don't understand like why it's always on us. No matter what happens to the kid, it's our fuck up. Present a mommy issues argument to me.
Well, I think with men in particular, there is a thing that happens when a man grows up without a father figure. And then with women, the thing that happens is the woman grows up longing for male attention. I think there's a balance in nature that male, and this is not to say that a lesbian couple can't raise a healthy child because they can, or a gay couple can't raise a healthy child because they can. And it's not saying that a single mom can't raise a healthy, because there's a lot of powerful people out there that were raised by single moms. But in some situations, there is a longing for that figure in your life. And then you see it in other people's lives. Like you go to your friend's house and the dad's cool and he takes you fishing and everybody goes, you're like, God, I wish I had a dad like that.
Yeah.
That fucks with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when your dad is not just one of the most powerful people in the world, at the time he was the vice president of the United States of America, but also hooking you up with corrupt business deals.
Yeah.
So you know. Do you know he put his dad in his phone as Pedo Peter?
Yeah, that's wild.
Because his dad had an alter ego. It was, I think, Peter Hutchinson. What was Joe Biden's...
Is that real? What? I thought that was like some 4chan shit. I don't fucking believe that, man. Liberalism is a mental disorder. I mean, normally I'd be inclined to agree with you, but I don't think you're saying it in the same way that I am, especially when you're looking at like the pedo Peter allegations. Like you're literally looking at like schizo posting on the main from like right-wing reactionaries and going, it's the liberals that are at fault. Chill, Joe's got the proof in his meme folder.
He had like he'd check in hotels under a fake name, right? Because he's Joe Biden. He always want to go and get phone calls from people. Hey, Joe, help me out with this fucking oil deal. Come on, I'm busy. So he puts his dad in his phone as Pedo Peter.
He hates his dad, bro.
It has to do with Spider-Man.
Peter Parker?
Peter Parker?
But it's not Peter Parker.
That's what the internet says.
Oh, okay. So that's why Joe Biden used the name Peter? Okay.
Yeah, back in May it came out that.
Well, that doesn't explain the pedo part.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, the pedo is the one we have an issue with, not Peter.
It's one of the fucking greatest memes I saw was that Joe's bummed out that he can't sniff kids anymore because that's as soon as he found
COVID?
out that he got COVID. Couldn't sniff kids.
yeah.
He's like, these kids don't smell like anything. What's going on?
Is it officially over if he survives?
Fuck yeah. It was over when Chris...
Bro, I love this. He goes, it's real. And then this is the proof.
Looks like we got a pedo leader. All thanks to his son, he made a pedo tweaker. Pedos. Y'all just some pedo breeders. You're the big guy, now it's pedo Peter. Wait.
Damn, dude. Yo, this shit goes hard on mute. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, this is a stinky beat. Scuffed Eminem. Popping the fuck off, dude.
Christie survived. That's when I lost all my fear. Oh, if that fat fuck can make it through COVID, I'm golden. When I got COVID, I wasn't even a little nervous.
Yeah.
When that guy survived, I'm like,
Oh, that's a lie! What? No. He was terrified, bro. He looked gray as fuck. He was throwing the kitchen sink at it.
what he got.
Yeah.
Come on, motherfucker. He was like famous when you got COVID.
Jay Leno. And that's what I was telling you earlier.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier.
And I think something happens where like Jay loves cars. He has his fucking garage full of cars. His cars everywhere.
We need to find out if it's real or not, though, because, bro, if Hunter Biden's pedo Peter contact alias is Natalie Biden's daughter of late brother Beau. Oh, so it's not even Joe Biden. The phone number associated with Hunter Biden's pedo Peter contact found on the first son's iCloud account is Natalie Biden's. Breitbart News has learned. There does not appear to be any explanation for the pedo Peter moniker. So even fucking what, dude? Even if Breitbart is like fucking clarifying this, dude. When you're getting fact checked by Breitbart, Joe Rogan, understand that you are like out of control. Natalie is 17, by the way, for the record. Natalie, 17, is one of President Joe Biden's 7 grandchildren. Natalie's Hunter's niece. So that was the other thing that happened with the Hunter Biden leaks, where like 4chan literally added some screenshots. We don't know if the screenshots are real or not. Okay. But the iCloud leak accompanied like a couple mentions of pedophilia. And then all of the clip compilations, all of the fucking clip compilations of the Hunter Biden shit featured Hunter Biden's fucking nieces. And they tried to be like, every time you see like a video of Hunter Biden getting a blowjob, or a video or like a photo of Hunter Biden fucking doing crack, or like walking around with like naked ladies, they're all way above the age of like 25. Okay, clearly. And then they sprinkled in photos of Hunter Biden with his fucking nieces, dude. To be like, oh, look, he's being weird around his nieces. Like, what are you talking about? That's his fucking family, you asshole. And then they were like, yeah, he's a pedophile. He's a pedophile. Look, he's got photos with his nieces. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you hacked his computer. You hacked his phone. You hacked his iCloud. Of course he has fucking photos of his nieces on his fucking phone and shit. It's insane. I'm new here. I've seen your Andrew Tate debate, and I get you're a conservative, but I'm wondering, how do you avoid the ad break at the top of the hour for free? Fuck you. Hasan, I've been doing damage control for the Biden family. Ha 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 ha. Hilarious. Psh, 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 psh. Are you saying that Breitbart is doing damage control for the Hunter for the Biden family? Is that unironically the argument you're making? Such a 4chan way of looking at things, to be honest. No, he means you are doing it. No, I know, but like I'm finding myself agreeing with Breitbart in this circumstance. DNC shill Hasan Abi Chapo Trap as Israel. Yeah, fuck Joe Biden, and also fuck Hunter Biden as well. Like, he is 100% a beneficiary of nepotism. That's the only reason why he's got his like fat fucking Burisma job. Obviously, we are in agreement on things like that if that's what you believe. But ultimately, if you're going to say he's a pedophile, I haven't seen enough evidence that he is. And like someone's claiming, like people on 4chan claiming that they're a pedophile. So what do you want me to do? Go along with it because you feel that way? He's always with women well over the age of 25. That lets you know. Meanwhile, Leo DiCaprio could never. Do you agree? Yeah. Don't pedo hunters sex pedophiles and pretend to be children? That seems fucked up and weird to me. I know, yeah. Quite ironic coming from 4chan of all places. Yeah, I mean, literally, 4chan themselves are full of pedophiles. Anyway. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. At the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. Okay? And you can't avoid it unless you are subscribed for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime. Imagine how quiet chat would be if you had it in 6-month follower mode. Dude, the most annoying motherfuckers would be talking nonstop, though, in the chat if that was the case. You can subscribe for $5 or for free, or get gifted a sub. Thank you, Sakura Blossoms, for the 5 gifted. Allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads. But Twitch Prime is free. Here's the 1-minute ad break now. Shogun Lore, thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
No, if they feel like he's got 11 garages full of cars, 11 warehouses. I went to it.
Wait, did you do the show?
I was on the show. Yeah,
which car did you?
My '65 Corvette.
Dynamic Jab. Thank you for the 10 gifted. D Pipes. Thank you for the 5 gifted.
Video. Yeah, I have a '65 Corvette that's a resto mod. It's a fucking beautiful car. Have you ever seen it?
No.
That one?
Wait a minute. Was it in the studio in LA?
Maybe. That's my car. Look at that fucking thing.
Yeah, that's
Come
insane.
on, son. And Jay Leno's the only person besides me that's ever driven that thing. I mean, since I bought it, rather. I've had it for like 5 or 6 years, I think. Probably a little more than that now. So I've been out here for 2. So me and Jay, we're hanging out in this video here. We're hanging out in one of his garages, one of his warehouses. He had 11. Look how I dress. What a fucking slob I am.
He's wearing jeans.
Yeah, me too.
But on top too.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's wearing a jean shirt. He always that's what they call Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah.
But his passion for cars is 100% organic. And look at that fucking car.
It's beautiful.
That's America right there.
Yeah, it's
look
beautiful.
Look at that fucking thing. God.
Thank you,
I was
Turnip
looking
Witch,
at
for the
that
5
today
gift to
in the
sub.
garage. I just walked around my garage and stared at it.
It's beautiful.
I love it. It's America.
But
1965, son.
here's what it is. You care about it. He cares about the car. Like, he knows the things about the car.
Yes.
And when there's passion attached to something, I think that you stop judgment because he's not doing it so that other people look at it.
Right.
He's doing it because he
100%.
loves the fucking car,
Well,
man.
he is fascinated by automobiles, and he loves them so much that it comes through. And one of the things that I said to him, I said, you are so good at hosting this show. I go, this is like, you feel so much more natural than when you were doing Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, yeah. He goes, this is the real me. It's like the Tonight Show is like, I'm talking to people sometimes. I don't care about their fucking
You
show.
care about Keira Knightley's movie.
My friend films for Jay Leno's garage, and he's heading to DC this week to do an episode with Biden. He's a fan of yours. Want him to say anything to Biden? No. What the fuck can I say to Joe Biden? Wait, is he? Joe Biden is literally fucking, he has COVID. No shot is he doing a fucking video with Jay Leno during COVID.
Care about this movie or this, like, and
65
not only that, he
Mustang.
didn't get to pick.
Who was on?
Right. That's the thing, difference between podcasts
And late night.
Late night, they bring you, oh, you're gonna have this person and that person, and then there's this band, and like you got to do your best
To
talking
be
to these
interested
people.
in a boring actress or actor.
And not only that, like I was looking at Nikki Glazer's Instagram, and she was talking about sitting down with Seth Meyers. She was like, I had a great fun time for 7 minutes with Seth Meyers. I'm like, 7 minutes? So you flew to fucking New York to do
For 7 minutes.
On this stupid thing that it's like, not that it's a stupid thing, but it's like, it's not as good.
Yeah,
It's not as good. It's like no one's going to get to know you in 7 minutes. You'll have a fun story and people go, oh, I like her. And maybe a few more people will go see you at a comedy club. Maybe.
No.
But the reality is it's like a shit way to have a conversation. It's like and that's what Jay would.
Steve Stevo Pot Pie, thank you for the 5 gifted. Turnip Witch, thank you for the 5 gifted. Darren Luna, thank you for the 5
was
gifted.
doing for the longest time. And now what Jay's doing is he has people on and he hangs out with them all day. And me and him were
Chatters are so funny. They're linking me a tweet of my podcast. I'm going to get to it, man. Why are you linking me a tweet of my own podcast, chat? Do you think I'm unaware of my own podcast promotion? Like, do you think your parasocial desires have reached a new level at this point where you literally think you have, like, the power of premonition? Why are you doing this? Bro, chat links clips on the stream that happened minutes ago. That's true. Yo, check this shit out. Twitch.tv/HasanAbi.
together for hours.
So even after you're filming, are you still like looking at the cars?
Oh
and just,
yeah,
See,
we went on.
that's-
He took me on a tour. It's 100%
real.
real. When there was no one around,
Yeah.
he's showing me this fucking jet engine. He's got
Oh,
a
the Rolls
car-
Royce that
he's
has
got
the
a
jet- yeah, yeah,
engine,
yeah.
and he's got one that has a steam engine,
Yeah.
and he has one that's like a tractor, but it had metal wheels that it rolls around on metal wheels, and he actually had to put rubber over
On
the
top of
metal
it,
so
yeah.
he could take it on the street because he drives all of them on the street. He's got these cars that are worth $1 million,
Yeah.
and he just drives them around like
Yeah.
waving at people and shit.
Yeah.
He's real.
And when you watch it, that translates.
Yes, that's what translates. Authenticity.
Yeah.
And that's for the first time in his career, Jay Leno exudes authenticity.
You're like, oh, you're a star.
Where
like,
the people didn't like him before
Yeah.
because he didn't seem authentic, because he wasn't being authentic. And now they love him. That show gets no criticism. Jay Leno's Garage is a fucking excellent show.
No one has ever said,
Well, no one watches it. I think that's probably the reason. When people don't pay attention to it, they don't care enough.
this is too much.
Right.
No one has ever said, oh, you could be donating this money somewhere else.
Exactly.
Because it's like you're taking.
Also because he's like a multi-millionaire, almost a billionaire probably, and he's like he's outside of the fucking scope of the narrow scope of like anarchities on Twitter and shit. I'm sure people say it, but he doesn't give a fuck because does he even have a Twitter? No, that's it. That's the main reason.
taking away the thing he loves the most. You don't want to take love away from himself. It doesn't hurt anybody that has these fucking cars. And clearly, he's not wasting the money on clothes or something stupid.
Exactly.
He fucking wears the same thing every episode. It looks ridiculous.
I know, but that's how he dresses. He doesn't give a fuck about what he looks like.
He cares about he cares about those cars look like.
He loves.
He cares
those
about
cars.
their clean.
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
Wait, why doesn't that argument? Why doesn't that exact same argument apply to fashion then? You said clothes are something stupid. So is having like a fucking fleet of like $1 million vehicles. What? New Sidemen Tinder looks fire. Emily Willis and Mia Malkova are in it. Oh, that's dope. Take a look at it. This is the reason why we couldn't. I couldn't hang out with the Sidemen in the UK. By the way, I was supposed to. I hit them up, and they were literally in fucking Los Angeles shooting this shit instead. Anyway,
I think he even has like isn't there like a way to like run them? Because some of these are so old, you have to run them frequently,
he has a full
right?
staff that takes care of them. A full staff of mechanics.
can you delete the H in the watch part of the video URL? Why? Don't. Why? What is that? Is that a trap? The new trending life hack? Why? What does it do? I'm not gonna do that.
Like there's a bunch of
I'll do it later.
He's got fabricators.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Like people that make fenders and shit. He's got like big sheet metal machines.
Oh, they're replacing parts.
They can make stuff because a lot of these things are so old.
They don't even have the parts for them anymore.
So he has fabricators that'll make him new fenders.
So isn't that cool?
There's something about this that I don't know.
Why can't they be normal? Like have sex with little girls and we give them asylum here?
Oh, you mean like Roman Polanski?
Yeah.
Is he from France?
Polanski?
What's wild is like people were making movies with that guy just up until like a couple of years ago.
Dude, they do it with Woody Allen. That's my favorite thing about the Woody Allen thing is like when they ask the actresses and they're like, "Do you think he did it?" They did what? He's with her. But like they have to say no because if they say yes, they're doing it with the guy who's stat raping a girl.
Well, he's not anymore. She's a grown woman.
Well, early on.
But when do you think he started the relationship with her? That's where it gets squirrely. The problem is the wife is squirrely too. Like Mia Farrow, she's squirrely.
Yeah, she's a loony bin.
She's a loon. But so her version of reality, it's very hard to parse like what's true and what's not true.
Dude, there's no version of.
Wait, what? Why? Wait, what? What the fuck did Mia Farrow do that's like bad or squirrely? Yeah, liberal Joe, not exactly liberal, dude.
Of reality where like even if it's your wife's adopted daughter or whatever,
version of
it's
reality
weird.
Bro, what the fuck? Mia Farrow, by the way, is Ronan Farrow's mom. For those of you who don't know, Mia Farrow has big sus vibes. Like, what do you mean? Why? Because she's like a Crystal Mommy adjacent lady or something? Mia Farrow's been friends with a lot of pedos. Bro, she's been in Hollywood for fucking 100 years. Of course. Of course she's been around a lot of pedos. It's Hollywood. Hollywood is fucking pedo central, boys. What the fuck? She was married to a pedo. Like, what are you talking about? Of course she's been around a lot of pedophiles. They think she's crazy because she was in Rosemary's Baby?
Bro, like it's
that's not
plain
my
and
point.
simple weird.
But she has stories of like them being together before, like when she was really young.
Oh, I don't know if I.
And then there's also his daughter Dylan that has.
Oh, you live in West Hollywood? Yeah, I mean, I live in Los Angeles. That doesn't mean I'm like linked to Hollywood in any meaningful capacity. I don't know anybody in fucking Hollywood. You literally have an agent from COA, right? Like tons of G-bad pedos allegedly have that agency too. Pedophilia is so common. Wait, no, I'm with WME. And I'm sure WME has some fucking sus-ass motherfuckers that they represent too. What is COA? You mean CAA? Guys, fun fact. But I'm represented by one of the big four agencies. Like WME is the like the second large. Like CAA and WME are the two big ones. But like, you know who owns WME is Rahm Emanuel's fucking brother, dude. Ari Emanuel. So yeah, the chat was that you literally live in West Hollywood, and I assume they meant like West Hollywood is the western part of Hollywood. Like I suspect that chatter unironically thinks like, oh, if you're living in West Hollywood, then you know, that means like they probably think Hollywood is where Hollywood is. Like the place called Hollywood. That's where all the Hollywood stuff happens. They rep you for fucking what? You refuse to take sponsorships? Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, the allegations.
She has allegations,
But
too.
I think they looked into that and they did like some crazy investigation and they found it wasn't.
How can you?
Yeah.
Those are one of those things. It's like, how do you know unless you were there?
Yeah.
You know, so you can't comment on it.
He believes
right?
in true love.
Oh boy.
I mean, that's the
He was
only.
a pervy dude. You ever listen to his old stand-up?
No.
Super pervy. Yeah, I've got some of his old stand-up. He's just talking about girls. I love girls. I love the way they walk in the heels, and like it was like really like pervy.
I mean, we know he was always
Kinda like
pervy,
Mitch
bro. Have you ever
Patel?
seen a Woody
Yes,
Allen
but
movie?
Mitch is playing the character.
Mitch is a character,
Yeah,
and Mitch
yeah.
is being really funny with
Yeah.
it. With Woody, it was like this is back.
This is
in
how
the
I
day.
really feel.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is back in the day where I don't know, man. I think people were just more primitive in the '60s.
Yeah.
They fucking were.
I mean,
man.
you saw the songs, right? Aren't there all those like songs by
Oh,
the
yeah.
Rolling Stones?
Oh,
that,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
singing about 15-year-olds and
Christine,
shit.
16, Kiss.
Oh, I thought when comedians were joking, they were just kidding. What happened? What happened to the just kidding defense? Wait, hold on. All of a sudden, when it's Woody Allen and he doesn't like him, he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not so funny anymore. It's like, okay, well then people can also be just kidding, but also transphobic in real life, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe the age has changed. I mean, obviously it's changed, right? Like a woman is
100%.
13 and like ancient.
But that's because people didn't fucking survive. You know, it was hard to survive back then.
Right.
When someone got to breeding age, you bred with them as quickly as you could because they probably weren't going to make it to be 20.
I mean, that's a wild like debate that's happening. A bunch of few guys like thousands of years ago. Like, I don't want to bang these young girls, but no one's living. They're all dying.
Well, I don't think they thought 15 was old back then or young back then. Because I think, you know, with the average age of death, well, the average age of death it's complicated, right? Because when they calculate the average life expectancy of people that lived a long time ago,
Yeah.
really you have to factor in infant mortality, which screws everything up.
And
Because
just-
so many children.
Bro, why are they talking about it like it's the 14th century? Are they talking about the 60s as though it's literally like the 13th century? What is happening in this convo right now? Where is this going? Did I misunderstand what they're talking about? Like, homie, it's the 60s and 70s. You know what I mean? It's not like medicine had advanced to a pretty fucking, you know, serious place where the average life expectancy was still pretty fucking high. Oh, they are talking about Middle Ages. Oh, okay. Never mind. That does make sense
And
then.
baby back, they thought
Like debate that's happening. A bunch of few guys like thousands of years ago. Like, I don't want to bang these young girls, but no one's living.
Yeah. Oh, no. They are. It's the same joke that Stavi made on his show about like pedophilia back then being the norm.
They're all dying.
Well, I don't think they thought 15 was old back then. or young back then.
I thought they were talking about the
'Cause I
60s. They're
think,
not. They're
you
talking
know,
about like the
with the average
fucking
age of
13th.
death. Well, the average age of death it's complicated, right? Because when they calculate the average life expectancy of people that lived a long time ago, really you have to factor in infant mortality, which screws everything up.
And
Because
just
so many children and babies died young. That
and
like
war too, like
right, but they make the age like, oh, the average person lived to be 30. Well, that fucks it up because a lot of them died at one.
Yes.
Like a shit ton of them.
And there are people who lived a long time. I think Michelangelo lived till how long?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's probably pretty old.
But like there are people who lived long. There are people who lived into their 80s back in the day.
Yeah, they
so
did.
it was possible. But again, people like our age or whatever like that, like there's a lot of women like, I just don't want kids. And it's like, I understand intellectually why you might not. But there has to be a biological impulse inside of you yearning to do that.
I don't think it's for everybody. I really don't think
it's
so.
not for everybody.
But I don't think that the urge is for everybody.
You think there are human beings
Yeah.
whose one purpose on this earth is to procreate, who just do not have that in them.
I don't think that's the one purpose on the earth anymore. I think at one point in time when there was less people, I think the urge and the imperative to breed was much more strong.
What is
It was
going
much
on?
stronger, and it was much more of a focus. I don't think that. I think the way nature works, and this is me just completely guessing, when there's an abundance of people, like in urban situations.
Bro science, the funniest shit. It's the best, dude. It's like injected directly into my fucking veins, dude. I love when they're not talking about like bro science from the perspective of like evolutionary biology and like misunderstanding it, misrepresenting it, talking about how women are a certain way or whatever the fuck, like, then it's great.
Situations, people are much less likely to have children. Do you know that that's the argument for underpopulation, right? Population collapse. This is why Elon keeps having kids. Like the population
it's
collapse is.
It's not single-handedly trying to like bring the population back.
But he literally is. Like he's having a bunch of kids.
He's having 10 kids.
But he's having them
It's nothing.
he's doing it with surrogates. It's not like he's just shooting loads into people. Like he's making embryos and in vitro fertilization. It's like he's doing wild shit.
That is the dorkiest way to have
make
kids.
people. But he's trying to do that.
Yeah,
he's
but
trying to
leave
make a lot of
load in,
people.
dude. Like if you're gonna do the act, if you're gonna be with the person, you might as well enjoy it.
But I think genuinely he wants to make as many people as he can. Genuinely. That's why he's like saving embryos and doing in vitro fertilization. Like he's genuinely trying to contribute to the population. He thinks that population collapse is a real issue. If you talk to him about it, he has a compelling argument about it.
I like
There
to
is
hear
a there's a compelling argument that relates
I think it's
to
a primal breeding fetish. I'll be honest with you. I think that's what Nick Cannon has. And I think what happens is you just start to get addicted to this feeling of bringing life into it because there's this old impulses baked into our DNA that this is what we're supposed to do.
True. It's also paired up. It's literally paired up with his like narcissistic personality disorder. He's like obsessed with himself. Dude. Like I think like Elon Musk, very similar to Jeffrey Epstein, has this like attitude that he is like the perfect human, right? He's like a superhuman and he wants to make more people like himself because he thinks that the world will be a better place with more Elons. Of course, the irony there is that like if he's not in their lives, actually he is Elon Musk, so maybe him being in his child's development is probably not a good thing. But I was about to say, if he's not in their lives, like they're not gonna get like adequate development anyway. But also, it's Elon Musk, so it's probably better. Anyway, have you watched Our Father on Netflix? It's about what doctor who lied to families and used his own sperm for in vitro. It's completely fucked. That is insanity. What the fuck? He's rich. What more could you ask for, idiot? Wait, what? Didn't his eldest daughter disown him? Yeah. I think so. One of them. One of his, he had like fucking 15 kids. One of them is trans and disowned him recently. Different doctor in my city did it too. Somehow got away with it, saying it was an accident. What? Oops! I put my fucking dick in the. Oh, how? Oh man, on accident. I hate it when I accidentally come inside of all of the fucking sperm receptacles. Whatever. Oh man. Oh shucks. Oh no. Oh fuck. Love your content. Hope you know how important you are, and everyone here on chat. Oh, thank you. Okay. Listen. As far as Elon Musk goes, like his seed to repopulate humanity, it's like pretty basic, okay? It's the same exact like narcissistic attitude that you think you're like a superhuman and you want to fucking put more of little baby yous out there.
To do. And he's in a financial situation where they both are, where they can do that and there's not many restrictions put on them. But to like over intellectualize it, like I'm trying to bring back the population. It's like, no, you get a kick out of it. It's fun. You can afford it.
If you talk to him, I think you'd have a different opinion.
Okay.
He genuinely thinks that it's important for people to have as many children as possible. And he's basing this, is what I was getting to. There's studies where they talk about urban environments and highly educated people are having less and less children.
Yeah.
Because the woman has career, the woman has a career, the man has a career.
Yep.
They put it off. Did you ever see Idiocracy?
No, but
Hilarious.
yeah. Still
I
holds
just
up.
saw
I
it
know.
recently.
I gotta watch.
But that's in Idiocracy.
Yeah.
There's a couple in Idiocracy that's like really highly
You had him on,
educated.
didn't you?
Yeah. Mike
Yeah,
Judge.
he's brilliant, Judge.
He's the shit. I love
Yeah.
him. Great guy. He lives here. And in that film, like there's this one guy who lives in a trailer and he's got like 50 kids, keeps fucking all these women, he's fucking the neighbor, he's having kids with everybody. And then there's this super educated couple that's holding it off and putting it off until they're like in their 40s, and then they can't have kids, and the guy doesn't have any sperm left, and the girl's eggs are bad.
Yeah.
That's the reality of intelligent, educated people with careers, is that they have less children. And so
there's other
that's the fear of population collapse in large urban environments.
Elon seems like he's in a position to fucking make clones or something. He's a narcissist that can actually do psychotic shit. Yeah. Same with Peter Thiel. Look at the trailer of Our Father. It's crazier than you think.